Hey everyone, welcome back to Majora's Mask. This is Adrian.
This is Roxy.
And this is Ambi.
And as a guest for this one, we've got my best friend here, Char.
Hello.
He's a huge Majora's Mask fan, and I've looked forward to having him in on this probably for about 2 years since we started Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
Now see, when you first propositioned me to do this, I thought you wanted me for the entire Zelda series. So I was very confused when you did Ocarina of Time without me.
Right, you just see the episodes, and then you're like, wait, I'm not on this.
Wait. I'm not here.
I apologize for that confusion.
They forgot about Jay.
Being confused is my natural state, so...
That works out. So, this might look familiar, by the way. We're doing this again because now that we're into the actual game and we're highly in again, we get a thing out of doing this. So the first time around, this unlocked magic when we were the Deku Scrub, but this time we get a mask for it.
So for me, this particular part is, I don't know if I'd call it interesting, because this game came out when I was, 13, 14, and my mom actually really enjoyed the Legend of Zelda series, so she'd watch me play this, and then I had to sit through this part with her, and it was very awkward.
Oh no.
I actually mentioned this at some point during the Ocarina of Time LP, in fact, but didn't your mom used to play Ocarina of Time as like a bush-cutting game?
Yes.
And that was it?
She got us a second copy of Ocarina of Time because she enjoyed cutting the bushes so much and she wanted her own file to do it.
Wow.
That's adorable.
That's super
It's
cute.
extremely pure.
She never left the Deku Forest, just is constantly cutting the grass there.
Alright, so you can also see that obviously the bomber is here again, and we could play the hide-and-seek minigame again, but I don't think anyone wants to see that. So we're going to go ahead and use a different way of repeating that. Not sure if you watched the first one's Char, but hide-and-seek could have gone a little bit better.
I did, and I was laughing the whole time.
Well, thankfully this time around we actually still know the code, so we can just go ahead and tell them it right away.
Does it write it down in this version?
It does in the notebook, but since we don't have the notebook yet, I had to go back and watch the episode to remember what it was.
Oh, so you're still cheating.
Yep, exactly. It's just meta-cheating in this case.
Yeah.
So I told Idrin that I'm actually playing this through on my DS at the same time as this, so I can keep kind of concurrent and stay a step ahead so I know what's coming. Even though this is an incredibly hard game to stay one step ahead with. And when he was having issues with the hide-and-seek, part of what was funny to me is we had issues with the same kid.
Nice.
There's always one, and it's never the same one for me, but there's always one.
I've played this game many times, and I don't actually think that has been an issue for me. Usually not like the hide-and-seek part, just because I've replayed that so many times.
I think the problem for me is I usually have so much space between my playthroughs of it that I can never remember where they are.
Also, how does that kid even get on the roof?
Skills.
There we go.
Yep.
I mean, roofs are easy.
Oh?
Yeah, you just gotta find like a low point that's about roughly 1.5 times your height, and then you can sort of kick off from the wall and grab onto it. And just sort of
Are
pull
you
yourself
speaking
up.
are you speaking from experience, Andy?
Oh yeah.
This kid is like 4.
I'm
This
no
kid is
longer
not
fit
parkouring
enough.
anywhere.
No. It's honestly easier when you're young because you're much lighter, so it's like easier to pull yourself up. And you can get a surprising amount of height.
You had an interesting childhood, Andy.
He had trees.
I only got kicked out of one roof.
Kicked out of a roof?
Kicked out of a roof.
Yeah, we were. It was really sunny, and so after school, we went into town, and there was this sort of flat roof, that had a low point that you could sort of sneak around the back through the hole in the fence and then sort of like jump up onto the roof. And it was like really nice and flat, so you could just lie down. And after about 10-15 minutes of just sort of sitting up here like chatting, where like somebody down there is being like, hey, and we peered over and there was a security just being like, get off the roof, please. And we're like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right,
And
so
then we got off the roof.
So this is the Bomber's Notebook itself, by the way. This is kind of the key to all the side quests in the game,
Ooh.
keeping track of when people do what and when you have access to what. Gives you the schedule for all 3 days and when people are available. And as you find out information, it'll put little reminders here for those. And once you've finished one, you get that... Oops, thought you could scroll over to it, but you get that medal on the right once you've finished a given person's side quests.
Oh.
This is one of the things I think is actually better in this version. The DS version, it's not laid out the same, and it really bothers me.
Oh, that's annoying. What do they do in the DS version?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It's just not the same.
Yep. What's interesting is that this was actually something that one of the developers had planned for a different game that he was going to work on, but Majora's Mask was on such a time crunch that they basically threw in all the ideas they had into this one game so that they could get it done in time. It was like a 1-year development cycle for this, just because Nintendo wanted to push something out quick as follow-up with how popular Ocarina of Time was.
I know the feeling of putting all of your ideas into one basket and hoping it works.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of that myself.
Also, fun fact, if you remember how that Bomber Kid ran, that's exactly how Idrin runs. Very polygonal.
All about those polygons.
So, I didn't get a chance to show this off last time because I waited way too late to do it, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first part of the playground as well. And I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm at least not on this, but I am going to at least take a shot at the first one. And I'll probably do the whole thing off camera just because I'm going to suck at it very badly.
But then that takes, the entertainment out of the thing.
Never mind, I don't have the rupees for it.
Oh.
You broke.
Yeah, you're super broke.
Okay. Well, let's
Zero.
run
Check your
around
bank.
town for a bit. Oh, that's right, I
Okay,
get to borrow
okay.
some there.
Yeah.
First off, though, I'm going to see if I can get to that hard piece from here. I think all you need to do is jump once you're back in Hylian form.
Yeah, you can just climb up there.
Yep.
If you're really good, you can actually run up the slide, but it's really, really hard.
I think I've tried that before, and I've never managed to do it.
It's so difficult that when I tried to do it on the DS, I actually got stuck and had to reset the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was not great.
See, I have this on 3DS as well, but man, I think it's been 2 years since I played it, so I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, what happened was I got stuck in the curve there, and the geometry clipped me, and I just got stuck.
Super stuck.
Now, I think I mentioned to Idrin, but one of the interesting changes in the DS version is the banker is here, as opposed to in the side area.
Yes.
Which is nice, but also a little strange, because it makes the side area oddly barren. There's
Yeah,
not a lot of
there's
reason to come
there's
over
no
here.
reason. Yeah, there's no reason to come down here.
It's a little bit weird, too, because the way they set it up, this is kind of like the... Well, I mean, district might be a strong word for this town, but this is kind of like the business district of Clocktown, so it's a little bit weird that they repositioned it in the middle. Oh, whoops, I need to choose withdraw and not deposit.
I also really like this guy, because if you look at things from his perspective, you're just some random kid that shows up and he owes you hundreds of dollars out of nowhere.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Alright, so now let's try the playground again. Yeah, you really just ruined his bank.
Yeah, I don't know how his bank stays, what's the word? Viable. I was trying to think of a funny word, and it just never came.
Viable's a pretty funny word.
There's funnier words than viable.
That's true.
Toothpaste. Peanut
Yeah.
butter.
Yeah.
Haddock.
Peanut butter is a funny word.
Haddock's a pretty good one.
See, now it just sounds like you're gonna start reading, like, the fish list of funny, like, fish names or
Oh,
whatever.
he probably is.
Oh, I've got it pulled up right here.
Salmon.
Cod.
Flounder.
Haha. Tilapia.
Tilapia's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think I can top tilapia.
Pollock.
Lutefisk.
That comes close. Does blobfish count, or is that cheating?
I'll allow it.
Because the humor in that one isn't so much the name as just everything else about it.
See, I haven't been here on day 1 yet, so I forgot how much easier this is on day 1 compared to day 2.
Yeah. And I'm probably still going to fail, but it'll be fun anyway.
The problem is that while he's flying, Decalink controls like a bus.
Yeah. It's a little bit hard to communicate the controls of the game in video, but it's not exactly smooth. And as people might have seen from my Ocarina of Time playthrough, my controller isn't the best for smooth, small movements either. Aiming with the arrows is going to be fun in this game, too.
Like, you would expect it to be floaty, and there's a certain amount of floatiness, but it's also very slow and cumbersome. Like, yeah, like
And
that.
also sometimes
Oh,
things like
okay.
that happen where the platform catches you on the way up after you shoot out of it.
That's,
So you just run forward and jump off.
that's why whenever possible you try and put your jump off until the apex of the platform.
Yep, I just wasn't thinking ahead of it long enough to think about that. Been a while since I've done this one, but that's the basic idea of this. Catch all the rupees. If you do, you get a reward, and if you do it all 3 times, like with most every minigame in Zelda, you get a heart piece. And like I said, I'll be showing that off camera, so that you don't have to see me fail a million times.
Just spend an entire cycle just doing this minigame.
That's about what it'll come down to. I can't remember, does time stop when you're in a grotto,
No.
Char?
No.
Okay, yeah, okay. I think time only stops when you've had a menu open.
I think so.
Everyone's freaking out about like the moon landing, and you're just like, no, I gotta get the flowers. I gotta get the rupees from these flowers. I gotta. Ooh.
Well, priorities. So I'm going through this thing again because we will need the deed for something important in this cycle. So going through this whole thing is probably going to be off camera, but I'm going to go ahead and run back to the observatory, get the lunar tier, carry it back, and we'll see everyone watching this video after I go through and do all that again.
Time's good.
Alright, so I got the lunar tier, so let me go ahead and grid it so I can give it to the guy.
Begin the trading sequence.
Yep, and then we can show the very important thing that we use the deed for.
Trading things just reminds me of one small favor, which is a quest from RuneScape, which is literally just an entire like chain of going to a bunch of people saying, "Can I have this thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, but if you do me one small favor, go to the next person to like fulfill that."
Yep.
Repeat times like 20.
Yep. In games, I normally hear that referred to as red paperclip quests, because have either of you heard of that? I think, Char, you probably have, because this is an older internet thing. The guy that started with a red paperclip managed to trade it up to a house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it was like 2000s internet. Like, when viral meant a lot of people are sharing around the URL.
Can I just say I don't like your implication that I should know of it because it's older?
Well, I mean, we're a little bit older than Roxy and Ambi.
You're a little bit older than me.
6 months.
That's a little bit.
That's a tiny bit.
Yeah. We actually
That's
share half
0.5
birthdays.
of a year.
My birthday is his
Aw.
half birthday and vice versa.
Yeah, we are literally 6 months apart.
BFFs.
Exactly.
True.
That's the only reason why.
I fucking hate that kid!
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and de-Deku so I can go into the inn. Oh, I think there's something else that I can do really quick to be mean to someone for no... Oh. Never mind, Anju isn't there right now. I'll have to do that later. But we're going to go ahead here... Oh, it must be on the first floor. I thought it was on the second floor.
It's first floor. Also, I believe it's only at night.
Is it? Well, let's see now, and if it
so.
is, then I can go ahead and jump ahead in time, because I haven't shown off that song yet. Yep, looks like you're right.
I'm 90% sure it's only at night. It might even be a specific day.
Well, let's go ahead and jump time ahead and see if that's the case.
Speed the coming apocalypse.
So this is the other alternate use for the Song of Time. Oh, you can't do that indoors. That's right.
You can in the DS version.
Oh, that's a nice
Also,
change.
the other cool thing about that, the other cool change with that song in the DS version is you can control exactly how far you go.
Oh, that's handy. I wish you could do
Yeah,
that
it's
here.
very handy. I believe this version only boosts you 6 hours.
It's 12 hours, I think. It jumps you...
Same thing.
Well, I don't think it's even 12 hours. I think it jumps you to the start of night or the start of day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it does.
Pretty much like as if you use the
Sun Song in Ocarina of Time.
Sun Song, yeah.
Oh, there's
Wait, did the Sun Song do that?
It jumped you ahead half a day. Oh, you've got to do this at the start of the first day. Okay. Basically, to spoil things a little bit in the future, but you can be a little mean to someone because it turns out that there's someone else named Link that also had a reservation at the inn, and you just steal theirs.
Hey, John, have you even played this game?
I'm not sure he has.
Why is that?
Just because you're like, oh, right, you have to do that at the start of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a specific day. I think it's day 2.
Okay.
It might even be day 3, which is a really terrible thing to happen.
For the hand?
Yeah.
No, that's day 2, I think.
Okay, alright.
Not day 3, because the inn isn't... You can't go inside the inn after, like, a certain time, day 3.
Oh, right, because it closes up because everyone else is cowering in fear.
I think you can still go in through the top door.
You can always do that, but, like, so... Maybe. So maybe it is day 3. But, yeah, I think it is day 2. So we'll try that later on. And for now, we've just got something to wait around for in the north section. And see if I can do this with the sword, because I'm used to doing this coming side quest with the bow instead. So this is one where I'm just going to have to wait around for about 6 in-game hours, so I'm going to set the flow time back to normal so that that doesn't take forever. And this will probably be another thing that we skip over in the actual recording. So, we'll see you back here at midnight. Alright, so here we see the reason why I'm here early. Let's just go ahead and chat with him. Well, that sounds normal.
Really?
That's what I always say to people.
Check out those yoga pants, though.
That is true.
Well, they're tights.
He doesn't have the best sense of style.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you like that look?
He's the best looking guy in Clocktown.
See, that just sounded like Cocktown.
Didn't it,
And that's a completely different game. That is not this game.
I mean, he's rivaled only maybe by Tingle.
Funny enough, Tingle's in both games.
Oh god. He's making maps. He has to journey.
He has to get a lay of the land.
Who's Tingle in Ocarina of Time?
No, I was making
Nobody?
I was making a joke about...
Oh.
Yeah.
You tricked me. I've been bamboozled.
Oh, there's a old lady going for a nice walk.
At midnight.
That is also how Adrian walks.
Oh. Ah.
Oh, there it goes.
He should just be
I like
done.
how the guards
The
didn't
guard
do
doesn't
shit.
even care. Guard's just like, old lady mugging? Yeah. I don't get out of bed for anything less than bank robbery. I love this
Here we
reward
get-
so much.
This is such a stupid and useful mask at the same time.
Incredible.
I just love that it's
I've
an old woman
honestly
going,
never
here,
used
strap
it."
this explosive to your face.
Yeah.
And of course I have to show it off right away. There's no choice.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can just see it right there in the action command.
We've all been
So
there.
let's go ahead and... Yep.
I was expecting a transformation.
Nope, just takes
No.
off half a heart.
Just explodes.
Yep, and it takes a little time to recharge. But I'm going to wait around for it to recharge. Just because it's actually more useful than people might think. Because if you have your shield out... Oh, I think you have it. It would help if I actually
Oh,
had the
dear.
sword out so I could put the... That's right, that's the shield button. Well, you know buttons are hard. Alright, and now if you do it with the shield out... No damage. You just block your face explosion with your shield.
That's how it works.
Yep. And this is actually really useful in dungeons because it means you have... it's a lot easier to explode things on demand. You don't need to worry about your bomb count, you don't need to worry about bomb timing. If there's anything we need to throw bombs, of course, you can't use that, but otherwise it's a very useful task.
Just rip your head off and throw it.
There's a few flaws with that. Mostly, you know, you can't chuck your head as well as you can chuck a bomb. You don't get to the same distance.
You need to use the Raikalaka technique, which is you need to turn your ears into wings, and then your head detaches from your body and flies away to suck blood.
What you need to do
Why?
is hold yourself by the hair and then whip.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So let's see if we can get the hand now, by the way, because it's a little bit past midnight, which off camera, Rocksilk definitely saw that was the time for it, but maybe I'll still be around.
Oh god, I hope he's not.
Oh, nope, he is. I like that game.
What the fuck?
There you go.
That's the best audio in Majora's Mask.
You saved him.
Can we point out that he's in the toilet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, when you gotta go.
Whose heart dropped down there?
All of ours a little bit.
Yeah.
We've all been that. We've all been there.
Who?
The only part about this I don't like is that there's no implication that it's someone you've run into around town.
That is true.
Yeah.
If there was some hint that it was somebody that you ran into, it would be so much better.
You know what I love? This isn't the only game where that hand shows up in a toilet.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
There's exactly the same quest in, I think, Oracle of Ages.
Yeah, like he makes a cameo appearance.
Yep, and you do the exact same thing. You find some random paper, give it to him, and you get a heart piece.
Sounds legit.
Yep.
There you go. Like all of us, he's a person in need of paper.
Yep. It's one thing that brings all people together.
You would hope.
That's why our good friend Dunder Mifflin is the backbone of society.
Well, should you be referencing Dunder Mifflin? You're in the UK, Ambi.
He vastly prefers American The Office
Oh.
over UK The Office.
Yeah, that's fair. It's less cringe comedy.
Yeah, like the US office is like mostly good with only some moments of my skeleton attempting to leave my body, whereas the UK office is just like 24/7 skeleton emancipation all the time.
Skeleton emancipation.
You know the feeling, Char.
Oh god, I do.